got it together. I don't know what's going on with Streamlab trying to mess me up and trick me, but y'all jump on in. Welcome back to another Live and Level Gamers podcast. 8 minutes behind, but we are, well, technically, no, we were not 8 minutes behind. We were on time by 2 minutes late, but some kind of way the wrong one opened up. So hopefully, K-Bum, let me know if this one did it open up correct this time. All right, there it is. So go ahead and let me know who you are, who you is, and where you be. Thank you, Comic Book Crunch. Shouts out to you, sir. So, no, we're not talking about last week's topics. We on new week topics this time. So, hopefully y'all go over there. I'm gonna take care of that and delete that whole thing, that whole situation. But we're gonna talk about tonight. Switch to disinformation has gotten out of hand. This is getting. Hello, Nia. Welcome back. The switch to disinformation has gotten out of hand. Disinformation, misinformation. We don't know. It's time for this to stop. We're going to explore why this is taking place, why this is happening. Also, is the switch to the new home for third party? Keith sent an article over. We got to read it. We got to look at it. And we're going to examine if we agree or disagree. So we talk about that. Also, PlayStation 6, more leaks around the PlayStation 6 are more evidence that it is a true that PlayStation 6 will come with a handheld as well. The PlayStation 6 will launch alongside a handheld device as well. So we got a lot to talk about on tonight. Nia said,
but we got smashed, bro.
So welcome to the show. Apologize for the technical issue. I don't know what that is and what that was. But what's up, crew? K-Bomb, keep noise. What's good? I'm so glad y'all can join me in the future or in the present. I don't know what happened.
Slap yourself!
I don't know what that was. Stupid! I don't know why I had two opened up on the same one, but let me go over here and delete that. That's why. And that way it does not impede. Let me see. We had 8 people in. That was dope. So, anyway, welcome to the show. I'll take care of this in a second. Welcome to the show. Man, look, got a lot of little bit to talk about. I'm tired of all this disinformation, misinformation, all this. Stop trying to kill my vibe. I don't want to sound like Kendrick Lamar, but y'all trying to kill my vibe. I just watched the video. I don't know if y'all watched it, that a person literally undid a video on my video. I haven't felt that in a long time. It was funny too. Actually, I was laughing through the whole thing because he was trying to say what I was saying. Then once he was misquote me, and then once he let it play, I would say what he was just about to say. What he just said, I would say the opposite. And I'm like, brother, you are misrepresenting me. Look, more misinformation. We got to stop. But what's up, people? What's up, K-Bum? What's up? I told you. I said, watch. I said, y'all need to watch this video. It's the one I sent. It's like the last video I posted. Yeah, dude talking about old level head, man. Yeah, he is, bro. I like, should I get hot? Should I get mad? Yeah. Yeah. He called me. Yeah, that was about me, sir. He's talking about me. He's calling me a delusional fanboy. That video went almost at 2,000 views now. I was like, man, I ain't did this, and I guess I need to start back doing it. But yeah, he calling me a delusional fanboy because I said you should be excited about the Switch 2. And what you haven't told us what we should be excited about. Oh, because of nostalgia, we shouldn't. No, sir. Like no. It's not more powerful than the PlayStation 5. Then I come back. I say it's not going to be more powerful than the PlayStation 5. I'm like, brother, you did you even watch my video before you start trying to make a response to it? He had a lot to say. She can't hear us. She can't hear you. Oh,
Hey, Bon, can you say something?
say something now. I got that fixed.
Something, something, K bomb, something, K bomb said the something, something.
K Bum must be playing the game. Something going on over there.
Or
But anyway,
something
you should be able to hear
off the
him now.
something.
I had y'all was on mute for whatever reason. I don't know why. I told you this thing acting up tonight. But anyway, man, we're gonna talk about this misinformation, disinformation. Will the Nintendo can brick your system? We're gonna explore all this stuff that y'all they talking and keep why they trying to put the Switch 2 out there bad like this, man? What's up?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy talk. It's like, can we just experience it? Can you
Man.
get it in your hands and say whether or not you want to play it or not? Like, what is all of this? What is this?
What is this, man? So anyway, is there anything since we already pretty much broke the ice? Let's get on into what you've been gaming on, cause we started off on a hiccup, so we need to get this going. Let's go. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for what have you been gaming on? Oh, 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 oh. Sing it, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right, all right, all right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to take the lead? Okay. Okay, K-Bum, what you been gaming on, bro? Did you call Keith a punk? That's disrespectful, K-Bob. We don't. Man, Keith, I wouldn't take that, bro. I wouldn't take that at all. Called you a punk. No, it's not free to call you a punk live on the Live and Level Gamers podcast, man. That ain't free.
Did turn back on XCOM 2. So I don't know if you guys remember, I was really into XCOM 2. I spent 21 hours playing it. And then I stopped because I thought I had lost the game, but I think I stopped playing because the mission I was on, I lost two of my best people, and I think I just gave up. It was getting very difficult.
Hold up,
But
K-Bomb. Start over, cause we was not loud enough to be heard at the time. So start over there, Keith. You can come back with what you've been gaming on. So you should be able to be heard now. I think I figured out what it was.
all right.
Go ahead.
Okay, he said he can hear you now. Okay. Let me try to be quick. So again, so previously what I stated was Frag Punk. I haven't played it yet. I just saw it's for download, so I'm actually going to download Frag Punk, and that'll be on my next week. What I've been gaming on, but for this week, I've been playing 2K. Like I said, my bro, not 2K, sorry, mostly Rivals. And my brother, who hasn't really played video games in 5 years, has been on almost every other night. So I've been playing with him. That's been dope. Then playing 2K with my other homie, who we used to play all the time, but it's only on the weekends now. So me and him played on Saturday, and then I turned back on XCOM 2 for a day. I'm gonna try to get back into it, but there's so much going on right now. I was at maybe the middle part of the game where there's so much going on all at once that you have to maintain and control. So I'm gonna try to get back into it, but we'll see. It's a lot going on that I don't remember what I was doing in the middle of doing. It's because I'm at the 21-hour mark in the
He
game,
said, I don't
so
remember doing what I was in the middle
it,
of doing.
right, it's 21 hours in. At that point in time, you're supposed to be an expert.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I know it was just
I have
funny
no
how you
idea.
said that. I don't remember doing
Nah,
what I remember what I was doing.
I,
I don't
bro.
know why that's funny. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna try to pick it up, hopefully, but we'll see. I may have to move on to another game, but that's pretty much what I'm in gaming on. I'm gonna get this Frag Punk downloaded so I can try that.
All right, Keith, come back in so everybody can hear what you were gaming on, sir.
Okay, yeah. What I had said was I've been gaming on I've been gaming on Star Wars Survivor. I finally figured out how to plug up my PlayStation controller to my PC. The port that was in the front of my PC isn't working properly, and I used another port uh, to get it installed.
Nah, nah. Say what you said, cuz.
No, I said it. No, what K-Bone wants me to say is I plug my controller in the rear,
Get it in the.
and yeah.
My God. He said the thing.
But yeah, I finally got it. It's working properly now. Maybe I can go back and play some other games too. But anyways, to kind of speed this up, Star Wars Survivor game feels nice. I'm loving it still. The fighting, like I said, I wasn't playing it with a controller. The fighting feels very
Awesome.
precise and intuitive. and the mistakes that's being made are on me. So I got to
It's a
tighten it
difficult
up.
game though. It's not easy.
It's definitely not easy. The next game I've been playing is Cyberpunk. I've been trying to do my side mission with Pan Am, trying to see what that means. Like, what
Side
I'm
missions.
saying. But I will say, before playing it on my PC, I did play it on Stadia. So I was playing keyboard and mouse, but now I'm playing it with the DS5. And let me tell you, every time you drive the car, you can feel the rumble of the tires under the trigger. So I like the little nuances that the controllers bring into their game. I can't wait to play more when I have more time. And lastly, what I said originally, I guess I'll say it again. Killer Instinct Gold is now available on NSO. Nia, you didn't hear me the first time, but I'm calling you out.
Ooh,
I got these hands and these foots
you
for
catch
you
all of it.
whenever you're ready.
These
When you're
foots
ready to get
are
on that
made for walking,
foot,
and that's what
when
I'm
you ready,
gonna do. And when
when
I
you ready to
catch
get
up to you,
on, you know what I'm
Nia, these
saying?
foots are gonna walk all over. No, that's fair. Go ahead, man. Anyway,
I'm gonna be playing Jago jumping across the screen. Oh yeah,
I used to love
you
that
know how
game, man. When Gold came out on
man.
the N64, boy, that was like the arcade came to your house. It was like, what? It's really happening. Go ahead. That game was
Yeah,
expensive
but
too.
that's it. That's all I've been gaming though.
Oh, okay, well, let me get mine out. I played Outlaws a little bit more, testing out that 40 and 60 to see if I really could feel the difference. And I'm going to say the 60 felt better because I think because of the draw. It's like the 60 does something to the draw distance and the way everything sits. It looks, I don't know, cleaner and just, but 40 definitely looked better than 30. And it was like right under 60. It wasn't right there, but it was right under 60. And but the game still is not really fun. I just be honest with you, I really wasn't. I go back to Star Wars Survivor over this. And what else did I play? Did I play anything? I played something on my Switch. I just can't remember what it was. But anyway, that's all I've been gaming on. I've been watching videos and doing other stuff too. So let's get it in. So I'm trying to see, did I miss anybody in the comment section? And if you're trying to figure out where we had a technical issue where, for whatever reason, Streamlabs had, this OS had my old feed going live instead of the new feed. I don't know how they did that but anyway, we got to figure it out thanks to Comic Book Crunch letting us know that we was talking about old topics. But I have an issue, y'all. Now, as y'all know, I'm excited for the Switch 2. And I feel like I have the right to be excited. I should be excited. We have been waiting 8 years for this. And I believe what we've seen has been awesome so far. Yes, there have been some aspects about it that is not all that great. The price of the games going up, Mario Kart World being $80. 450, 449. No, we didn't really want that. We wanted $399, but we have gotten all past that. And we are seeing all these creator voices and everything just be like all these third-party titles coming and first-party was coming. And it seemed like everybody trying to dump water on this flame. Everybody's trying to poo-poo on a Tendu. No, everybody's trying to pour
Wait,
salt.
what?
I was trying to rhyme. It sounded so stupid. Once I did it, I was like, that's corny as heck. Anyway, everybody's trying to dump on the Tendu. And I'm like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people. And I'm trying to understand. What's up, Cherry Man? I'm trying to understand why is this taking place? I mean, there's a lot of disinformation out here. There's a lot of misinformation and I can see it was from just random YouTube creators, right? That show fandom and bias and all that. That's the typical thing. But to see places like IGNs and other individuals, I know Keith don't want me to say they name, Digital Foundry and so many different
Why
places throwing up what I believe to be, and what I know is very much disingenuous and very much disinformation. The latest thing is the whole user agreement with Nintendo. And I'm going to go to IGN. I'm going to pull it in real quick. And then, hey, y'all, shut that door up there for me, Mike. Oh, thank you, babe. You bringing me my food? Let me get some claps from my wife. She told me to shut up. I'm bringing you your food. Well, I will shut up. I'll shut up later. But anyway, so Miss K-Bum, Miss Level told me to shut up, y'all. So she coming down. Y'all be quiet. Hold up. Be quiet. Oh, she's talking stuff. Can y'all hear?
You started. You don't be paying.
No, don't be trying to shoot.
I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, just tell
You just don't be acting right, man.
Podcast. No, my wife didn't tell me I love you. Boo Boo, come back here.
That's why you stay in trouble.
Come back here, woman. Tell these folks.
Stay in trouble.
I do, don't I? Anyway, and this food is good. Where's my drink? Where is my liquid to quench my thirst?
It's gonna say, "Where is my super soup?"
No. But anyway, so let me put this.
Y'all need to know. Y'all keep playing Miss Levelhead got hands. Stop playing with that woman.
He not lying. And they hurt too. She
playing with that woman.
So my thing is, what's up, Kawan? Welcome to the show. My issue here is, if this disinformation or misinformation, and what I'm gonna say here is misinformation is unintentional. That's what misinformation is. It's unintentional. You didn't know that you was being misleading, right? But disinformation is you're being misleading, right? And it's a combination of the two. I'm going to give Digital Foundry the benefit of the doubt, say that some of theirs was just misinformation. They didn't know they was making a mistake. But then some of it was, I believe, is disinformation. But right here with this is different disinformation. Nintendo revises user agreement, and if you break it, Nintendo reserves the right to brick your Switch. That's the new thing right now. So Nintendo has tightened its user agreement, revising the terms and conditions with a tighter stance on players who hack their Switch consoles, run emulators, or any other such unauthorized use. So they say, as spotted by GameFile, emails have gone out to players confirming the company has updated the Nintendo account agreement and the Nintendo account privacy policy. The new rules now superseding, I think that's how you say, superseding, hold up, what did that do? It just jumped up. Superseding all previous versions and applying to all exiting and new Nintendo accounts users as of May 7th. According to the GameFile report, there's been around 100 changes between the existing agreement and the revised one. Until May 6th, players agreed that they are not allowed to lease, rent, sublease, publish, copy, modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompose, disassemble, disassemble all or any portion of the Nintendo account service without Nintendo's written consent or unless otherwise expressly permitted by applicable law. Here she comes.
They used every word in the dictionary.
Hold
didn't
up,
they?
y'all. Hold up. My booski boo down here. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
You got to talk louder than that now, Miss Level. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
She's not a gamer. That's why she doesn't understand my joy here.
What's up, Miss Level? I love you, Miss Levelhead.
K-Bone said, what's up? He said he's a friend.
I ain't said what's up. You know what I said.
I don't know you, but I heard you got hands, so hi.
And he said, you know you got hands.
Yes, I do. I have hands.
She does have hands.
Confirmed.
She puts them all on me all the time.
I told you.
Ouch.
I told you.
Okay, now you ain't got to hit me live
told
on
you.
the show. But anyway, applicable law I got my pen station. Now, however, the section has been significantly lengthened in the U.S. and now reads, without limitations, you agree that you may not A. Publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create I say derivative works of any portion of the Nintendo account services. B. Bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent any of the functions or protections of the Nintendo account services. Nia, give me an A for my reading today, including through the use of any including any use of any hardware or software that would cause Nintendo account service to operate other than in accordance with its documentation and intended use. C. Obtain and install or use any unauthorized copies of Nintendo account services, or D. Exploit the Nintendo account services in any manner other than the user than using them in accordance with the applicable documentation and intended use, in each case without Nintendo's written consent or expressing authorization, or unless otherwise expressly permitted by applicable law. You acknowledge that if you fail to comply with the foregoing restriction, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part. End quote. Am I reading with my finger? Come on, I am not reading with my finger.
Solid B. Solid B.
So, but I do be reading with the mouse. And be having a brother out. But anyway, point is, Nintendo's like, y'all don't use our stuff in a way that we have not authorized you to use it, or we can or may we may render it permanently unusable, whole or in part. So this caused a whole outcry. This has caused a whole uproar. IGN, Eurogamer, all these creators, everybody is going ham over this this right here. So before we go into how disingenuous a lot of this outrage is, let's talk about it. Is this jacked up? Do we have a problem here with Nintendo and this update, this revised user agreement? Is there problems here? I'll let y'all come in first before we go and show how hypocritical and disingenuous and all this disinformation is with a company like IGN. Go ahead. Who want to take the floor? Is this a problem?
I got a quick statement before we get into that. Quick statement is: will the Nintendo online services still be trash? Because if it will be, then we should be able to disembowel, dismember.
We're not talking about the quality thereof. We're talking. Go ahead.
I'm just okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, modding. I know.
Welcome to the show, D2.
DTK in the building. It's a good day when DTK is in the building. But if I'm not mistaken, Sony and Microsoft has always had the ability to brick your system if you modded your.
Don't say nothing about that. Go on.
Okay, all right. I'll go back. So let's go Nintendo. All right. Is this fair? They own the proper use of the system, and what you buy to use the system in the way they intended. That has kind of always been the threshold, and people always find ways to get around it. I know me personally, I had a modded original Xbox, and I was playing everything under the sun with my modded. I didn't care what happened to that system because it was actually given to me, and that's when I actually learned about software modding. back in my high school days. So I did mod that, but I didn't take any chances with my Sony systems. But yeah, that's kind of been the thing. But they own the proper use of the system. The company the console makers, and if you want to do something other than the proper use of that system, you do. When you buy it, you are making that agreement, and they do have the right to kind of you know do protect their intellect, their intellectual property. So I'm not too up in arms about this. I don't to me this doesn't scream weird or unusual, so I don't really have an issue with it. But the only caveat I have with this is that unlike Sony, unlike Microsoft, Nintendo got ninjas. So anytime Nintendo change anything about a law, it does make me a little nervous because they got ninjas, and
They
they
do.
are
They
not
do what they say they're
afraid.
gonna do.
They gonna do what they say you're gonna do because what my man what's my man name Power World just had to update their game. Yeah, you ain't we ain't gonna we ain't gonna sue you out the door, but you gonna make these changes now. They gonna do what they gonna say, and they say they gonna shut you down. They gonna shut you down. And I'm talking about all the emulators. If they say they coming after you, they give you some warning, some freedom, and if you do not cease and decease, they coming for that. And so out of anybody else, any word changing in any kind of agreement that I've made with Nintendo does make me nervous.
Okay.
I'll be straight honest because Sony, they may not do something. They may give you one like, come on, man, don't do that to my system. Come on, Nintendo give you one warning, we gonna get you, and you keep going. They don't them ninjas already prepared. So that's the only thing I gotta say. Yeah, I don't think it's weird, but yeah, they have a reputation.
Keith.
Well, I
Oh
don't think
crap.
it's fair.
Oh
I
god.
don't think it's fair. I spend $450, maybe even 500 for the bundle. That's my hard-earned money. And you're gonna tell me that I can't do what I wanna do with the money that I spent on my console? Are you crazy? This is ludicrous. I'm going to the internet and I'm going to make me a channel and I'm going to talk about the EULA that Nintendo has just put out, and we're going to boycott them and we're going to take them down because they are anti-consumer and this is not right. I am offended with a T.
Push your glasses up. Make sure you push your glasses up when you're done.
Yeah, you're right. I started to sweat just a little bit, and my glasses started to slip off my face. But I'm back now. Listen,
All right.
That's funny.
No, listen, man. Just don't mod your system. I don't think this is a problem. I don't think what Nintendo has said. They haven't said anything wrong. We should know by now that we don't own anything. We are licensing ourselves. We are licensing ourselves to use their property. You know what I mean? Even your house, even after you pay for your house, you paid it off. Guess what? You still got property tax. You still got to pay stuff. It ain't like you just living scot free. Like everything that we quote unquote own, we still gotta pay something on it. So Nintendo just doing what businesses do today. But I know Level want to go deeper. I won't bring up
No, go
the
ahead. Say
other
what you gotta
people.
say.
Well, I
Let's go
mean,
there. Let's go there. So, well, did you have a thought you want to finish before I take us down memory lane?
go ahead and take us down memory lane.
Okay, so I was shouts out anyway. I ain't gonna. So I want to give credit that I didn't get this idea from myself, but I was watching formerly Rich of Review Tech USA. He's now Rich. I don't even know what he is now. And he was talking about this, and he jogged my memory. This is not new, and I knew it wasn't, but it just really made me see just how stupid and disingenuous and absolutely manipulating the minds of people like IGN is, because they would know this too if they do some research, just some journalistic integrity. Is this the first time we've been here? Is this the first time they've done it? No, it's not the first time. Guess what? They could have did this on your Switch too. It might not have been in the user agreement, but
Wait, your Switch 2 or your Switch?
they could have did it to the
Ooh.
Switch. The Switch. OG. But
You funny.
let's go to the Wii. And let's look at, well, not the Switch, but let's go to the Wii. Let's go back. This is not the one I want to look at. I want to look at the Wii. Let's go back to the Wii. And let's look at the user agreement
Article 1.
on the Switch. On the Wii. So this is not, come on, Level, what you doing? All right, hold up.
I'm looking at it.
No, I pulled up the wrong one. Let me make sure I got the right one now. Because I had a few of them. I was making sure I sent all this over to the Goop chat so I ain't had to look for it later. All right, so here it is. The Wii. User agreement. Where is it at, Keith? It's under which one?
It's under Chapter 2, actually. I apologize.
Chapter 2. Unauthorized software services and device are unlicensed accessories. Your Wii console and the Wii network services are not designed for use with unauthorized software services or device or non-licensed accessories, and you may not use any of these with your Wii console or the Wii network service. Such use may be illegal, voids any warranty, and is a breach of this agreement. Such use may also lead to, I don't know why it would injure you, but injury to you or others or cause permanent issue. It may injure your pride. When that
Nintendo letting you know them ninjas gonna injure you.
Permanent performance issues
They like to play.
or damage to your Wii console or the Wii network of services. We and our licenses and distributors are not responsible for damage or loss caused by unauthorized software, services, or devices or non-licensed accessories. Man, you know a lawyer wrote this. We may take steps. Look at this, y'all. We may take steps to disable or delete any unauthorized software, service, or device installed in your Wii console. For example, by detecting and disabling them through the Wii network services and or game software. If we detect unauthorized software, services, or devices, your account to the Wii network services may be disabled, and or the Wii console or game may be unplayable.
One more time. Or the Wii
console or game may be unplayable. This is nothing new, people. You want to know who else has a similar one? K-Bum almost let the cat out the bag. But let's go here. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Microsoft. And guess who knows all this? IGN. Eurogamer. These are not people that don't know this stuff. That's why I say for them, it's disinformation. Whereas people who may run with it, it may be misinformation because they've taken the credibility of an IGN, a Eurogamer, a 1UP, or whoever else that's out there that has supposed to be reputable. They run with it as reputable information, and this has always been the case. By using your Xbox console, let me make sure I get to where I need to go. License. Let's get here. Let me get here.
EI. Oh no, you start at A.
Start at A. Okay, the software is the Xbox software is licensed to you, not sold. You are licensed to use the Xbox software only as pre-installed in your Xbox console or authorized accessory and updated by Microsoft from time to time. You may not copy or reverse engineer the Xbox software. As conditions to the Xbox software license, you agreed that you will not use unauthorized accessories or unauthorized games. They may not work or may stop working permanently after a Xbox software update, which D2K was just talking about. If you foolish enough to alter this stuff and put it back online, you deserve your stuff to be bricked. You will not use or install any unauthorized software. If you do, your Xbox console, listen to this, your Xbox console, Connect sensor, and authorized accessory may stop working permanently at the time or after a later Xbox software update. This is not unique to Nintendo, people. And guess who else did it? Sony does it as well. I couldn't find it on. I couldn't find their user agreement, but I AI searched it and they said yes. Sony reserves the right to brick or disable your system if being used out of accordance with the user agreement. Look, people, I understand that some of y'all have been stirred up to confusion because the Switch 2 came out and did a lot more than you was thinking. I know that some of these games are shocking to some of you guys that they're running so well on the system. We all get it. None of us expected the Switch 2 to look this good. Not me, not Keith, not K-Bum. Anybody that said that they did is lying. We did not expect Nintendo to do anything that they're doing. Yes, it may be dated, but people, it's just gaming. It's just gaming. And I don't understand why folks are going so hard to seemingly try to undermine or cripple the launch of this system. Like, the blitz from reputable sources is staggering to me. And so that's why I want to talk about it. Like, when you see stuff like this, K-Bum, Keith, and K-Bum, I'm going to bring you back in because you kind of put it out there. When you see stuff like this, and you know these people know that this is a normal practice. This is not unique to Nintendo. Now, like K-Bum said, the ninjas may actually enforce it, but it's not unique. What does this say about a company like IGN and different ones who I would say, what's the word, clickbaited out there and make these rage baiting, thank you, DJ, that's dope, rage baiting and clickbaiting articles that they know isn't anything worth crying about. But the floor is yours. Why are we doing this?
Let me say one thing. Let me tell you, there is one piece that is unique to Nintendo from what I've just heard you talk about as far as Sony and Microsoft. This is Nintendo and they got to own this. I ain't heard nobody else say they're gonna injure you or anything about injuries. That's all. I ain't heard nobody else say you gonna get injured messing around with the Nintendo console. So that Nintendo got to own that because I don't know who gonna injure you, but somebody gonna force some injuries. But anyway, here's my thought on this. What I believe is going on with some of these conversations and some of these articles from these reputable places is that any Switch 2 news is traffic to your website. Any Switch 2 news, even if it ain't the truth, it's gonna make people click your tab or click your Instagram post or click your Twitter post or your find your search on the web, and I think that some of this is done for clout, some of this is done for views, some of this is done just for you to visit this site because the Switch 2 is hot. It's the new thing. It's the new console. And so you're going to see all type of articles, even if it's not a fully thought out thought. about the Switch 2. And so that's how I see it. I don't fully see it as people. Some of them are right. Some of them are going out of their way to downplay the system. Some people are going out of their way to badmouth the system. Some people are. I will not stand here and say that they're not. Most people, I feel, and again, this is my opinion. I don't know if this is fact. This is my opinion, what I feel. I feel that most are using the opportunity of this brand new console that has its own wave, because the wave for the Switch 2 is not the same wave for the PS5. It's not the same wave for the Xbox Series X. It's not the same wave for the Steam Deck. It has its own wave. And people are trying to ride that wave to get themselves views. Us, we genuinely talk about the Switch, right? Because I got two Nintendo fanboys over here, so we
Hey,
genuinely genuinely
Hey.
talk about the Switch. But it's not for clicks. It's not for views. I mean, we've seen our views and our videos increase by talking about the Switch, but we don't force the conversation about the Switch. Right, I know maybe level is, I don't know, but we don't force the conversation. I know, man. I know, I'm joking. We don't force the conversation, but that's what's getting. I guarantee you that Digital Foundry's videos about the Switch 2 probably has increased views than a video about the graphics of Star Wars Outlaws, because it's the thing. It's hot. It's the news. And I don't. I'm not going to go into the Digital Foundry thing, because I don't. They've confused me. Some stuff I see that's genuine. Some stuff I see that's questionable and stuff. I'm like, come on, man, why would you say that? So I don't know. I'm not going to say because I don't know. But what I do know is articles about the Switch or videos about the Switch gets you views. So that's my point. That's what I want to make.
All right. I'm gonna read some of these comments in a second. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I agree with K Bomb. Anytime you talk about the Switch 2, excuse me, anytime you talk about the Switch 2, in any light, negative or positive, is going to bring traffic. It's kind of like talking about Bronny James, negative or positive, it's going to bring traffic. So that's why
or Shadur Sanders at this point.
Or yeah.
Shadur Sanders at this point. Just say his word name, and someone's gonna look at it.
Yeah.
If people want to hate on it, people want to. Sorry, I'm cutting in. My bad. I'm cutting in. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good.
But what I do wish that people would do, and to Level's point, is I wish, if you're gonna speak about the Switch 2, and if you're not in favor of the Switch 2, at least be honest about what you're talking about. You don't have to make up things. You don't have to withhold information or say the loud part out loud. Like, oh, look at what Nintendo is doing, and Microsoft literally has it on their page that Level just read. And I don't know if he shared it or not, but it's highlighted. It's bold. The part where it talks about permanently shutting down your Xbox. It's bold. It's so you can see it. So it can stand out.
You talking about for
that's
the Xbox
my thing.
or for the Switch?
The Xbox. It's bold lettered.
Yeah.
Microsoft wants you to see it. If you do anything that we do not authorize, your Xbox software can be bricked. They all say that any electronic person says that if you have an iPhone in your hand right now and you jailbroke it, Apple has the right to do what they want to do. I haven't heard much about it, or they'll just say that, hey, you voided your warranty. So anytime you do something outside of the plan, they reserve that right. It's every electronic device that you have probably has that somewhere in their agreement, but we don't read it. We don't even look at it. Matter of fact, we throw that little paper away when we open the box, but it's right there. But like I said, I just prefer people to just be honest about, if they're not in favor of the Switch 2, you can just say, hey man, I don't like this. I acknowledge what they're doing, but it's not really for me. I'm going to stick with my PlayStation 5 Pro or my PC or my Xbox. You could just say that. You don't have to bring on any extra. You don't have to be extra, bro. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think people will will come to your channel more often if you just, you read the information properly and give them the information. Like, hey, I know I can trust what he's saying, and he's not in favor of the Nintendo Switch 2, so I can listen to him. But all these other dudes, like that video you shared before the podcast level, I immediately turned it off when he said,
I gotta show that. I gotta
delusional.
show that. I gotta
But when
show
he said delusional fanboys, I was like, all right, I can't even.
But it
I would
was
have liked to watch. I am going to watch it since
the
since
delusional
he did
fanboy
tag
was
you.
me. I was like, wait a minute, let me
Yeah,
watch this. I'm like, is that
I
me
noticed
talking?
that. I noticed that he tagged you. He tagged you in it too. But I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
tagged me in it. I'm like, wow. So I told on there. I told him I enjoyed it because I did. It was funny as heck. So I was laughing the whole time.
but yeah, but stuff like that just makes me turn away from it. Like that Dreamcast guy. Yeah, I said his name. Like the stuff that he does is just outrageous, just for views. Like, dude, we don't have to do that all the time. Sometimes it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Or you could do a satire like Mighty Keith. Mighty Keith does beautiful satires, and he talks about both sides.
He be
And it's
spitting facts in them
and
satires
he be
though.
spitting facts. He do be spitting facts. Like the latest one he got with the ninjas in the dark.
He said, "Do
I
you
mean,
really? Do you really own it?"
but yeah,
let me read
that's it.
let me read what D2K said. Then we jump. I say a little bit more. Then we can move on. He says there is a small contingent of people out there that are genuinely salty about the Switch 2. That the Switch 2 is better than they thought. People have made an idol about specs and graphics, saying that alone is superior, but Nintendo constantly disproves that. To me, if you remember that part of Dragon Ball Z when Goku explained why Ultra Super Saiyan, Tita can't be going in. Ultra Super Saiyan is a useless transformation, and at the same time, Cell is telling Trunks to the same thing. So if you, yeah, okay. So I think that's pretty much he had got to his thought. But he's saying a lot of people are just salty that it's better than what they thought. And it pretty much go to what you were saying. So that's where I'm at with it. It's like, let me say it again. I personally don't have a problem with people expressing their disdain, dislike, fanboy. All that, it don't bother me. I can fanboy out sometimes. I do it in the chat between me and Keith and K-Bun. I be fanboying in the chat, but when I come to live and level, I'm pretty leveled. I fanboy in the background sometimes, and I be geeking out over stuff. But I try to be a fair person. If I see something incorrect about Sony, and I know it's incorrect, I'm going to say that ain't correct. If I know something is incorrect that's been spewed about Xbox, that ain't the case. Like we were saying when they was like, man, they just going third party. They're just trying to get their money, which we all like, and that's exactly what they doing. And if you go look at the reports, they software actually outdid Sony's this time around. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But my problem is when reputable, supposedly knowledged and informed people do this. IGN would know that this is not new. See what I'm saying? Like, if they don't know, they should know. Just today, I was going to send this to y'all today. Digital Foundry was going over the VRR on the Switch and said that that VRR is only on the handheld. It is not on the TV anymore. Like they removed that function. And it's like, and so I watched somebody say that's not the case. They didn't remove it. It's just is not available right now. It's not removed. But Digital Foundry is like they removed the whole ability and the whole nine. And then they showed where it didn't say nothing like what Digital Foundry was saying. And I remember Oliver, and you go watch, and I cannot D2K. You know when I'm bringing up this person's name, things have changed. Super Metal Dave. I showed a video in the chat about, what'd you say, about a week ago, where Oliver was doing a comparison from the Steam Deck and the Xbox Series S. And Oliver basically said that the Steam Deck is basically an Xbox Series S portable. And was literally all these great things. And then with the Switch 2, that's more capable than the Steam Deck, he said is not comparable to an Xbox Series S. And I'm like, man, how can you, like, this, that is that type of stuff. Like, you ain't even consistent with yourself. And it's like, I'm not trying, like I said, I understand that some people going to get stuff wrong and miss stuff. Even the lauded and high Digital Foundry will miss stuff. Even IGN will miss stuff. But this type of stuff to me is intentionally being misleading. And like K-Bum said, for clicks, for views, for traffic. But you're also doing a disservice because you're causing a commotion that is unnecessary. And people who need that fire to run with you, giving them all that because you know that's what they're looking for, and you giving it to them. And it's like, man, to me, it's just unnecessary. I don't want to belabor this too much longer, but it's just unnecessary. And it's like, man, why are we doing this? What's the reason for all this misinformation and disinformation around this system? I don't think I've ever seen this too much at all with Sony. I would say a little bit with Microsoft, but it seems like it'd be extra when it comes to Nintendo, and I just don't get it. So, but anyway, any final thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I did hear that thing about the VRR, but I do know that Nintendo removed it from the website, but
Yeah, they
I don't
did.
know. But I don't know as far as the device itself. It should still have VRR. If it's in the handheld, then it's actually in the system.
It's in the
I
system.
don't understand. I don't understand how can you have it in the handheld and not in the display when that means the actual hardware itself can produce
Yes.
unless you're saying that the HDMI out can't do it, but that doesn't make sense. That's what the if you're using the 2.1, then HDMI out can handle VRR. Yeah, so I don't understand. I did hear Big Digital Foundry say that, but I didn't really give too much thought to it. But yeah, it should be able to do both.
Yeah, but the thing is how Rich Ledbetter framed it. It was misleading. It was not. It was like they removed the function entirely. No, it's not available right now. It's not going to work on your TV right now. But it's the function is not removed. Like you said, it's literally in the device itself. So it could do it on the screen. So it's like, why? And that's where, like you said, K-Bump earlier, why would you say that? Why are you saying that like that when you know that's not the case? But then when you get called out, then y'all have to backtrack. And it's like, if you just be honest, why are y'all doing this? What is the motive? What is the reason? Like, again, I'm not trying to get back into the whole fanboy. I did that game. I play what I want to play. I just like Nintendo, but I like Sony and I like Microsoft. I'm a Gears fan. I'm a God of War fan. I'm a Nathan Drake fanatic. Like, everybody make good stuff. Why are we acting like this? And you supposed to be neutral, but then y'all start showing y'all biases. It's like, man, y'all really can't handle Nintendo being great. It's good for everybody, in my opinion. Just like Sony is great. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, God of War, like 18. What was 18? What was that? K-Bump 18, 16, whatever that game was. 2018. Great. Like, why should we get upset? Stop with the nonsense.
You mean the order?
No, God of War 2018 when they
did 2018. I thought you talking about the order.
My mind got tied up. But anyway, point is, I can't let the IGNs and all of them get away with that. Not me. I feel like they should be called out. And this stuff right here is absolutely disingenuous. It's misleading. It's disinformation. It's no information. It's nothing. There is nothing here. This has been a part of gaming for a decade or more. Why are y'all even making this a thing? So he said, I'm not even a Nintendo fan, but I am a INF. What is that? DTK on that laugh. But anyway, so any final thoughts on this? We can move on.
I'm good.
Okay,
Nah, I
so
think y'all handle that.
all right, so the next topic is, and shouts out to Keith. He found this article. I don't know where he found it from. But a market research firm says, and we got to see if we agree with this, Nintendo could become the primary partner for third parties with Switch 2. I don't know why this thing won't shrink down, but anyway. Nintendo could become, with the Switch 2, the primary partner for Sony. Now, y'all know Nintendo hasn't been a primary partner for third party since the Super NES. Sony came in and just ripped the S off of Superman's chest. Said, take that, Diddy, take that. Anyway.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
They
Take
ripped
the podcast
down. They got Diddy in there looking bad. They got Diddy looking bad. Oh man, I'm laughing. Lord forgive me for that. I want to talk about anyway. I ain't here to talk about that. No, we ain't. So it says, Nintendo. Let me open this up because I can't. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see it like I can, but I can't shrink it down. Nintendo has always had a relationship with third parties, but there are certainly times when it's been strained. During the NES and Super NES era, Nintendo and third party were thick as thieves. Well, I remember those days. I wasn't even a Nintendo fan back then because I was playing a lot of third party stuff. N64 made me a Nintendo fan because I ain't had no choice. But anyway, as time went on, third party would bring modest offerings to Nintendo's platforms, or even go so far as ignore them as two. I guess they didn't want to put two there. As far as to ignore them almost completely. It says once we got to the Wii DS era, things started to shift somewhat. I don't remember that shift. Third party certainly took notice of the Wii and DS. They did. And worked on numerous titles for the platforms. I don't know where that was on the Wii. I guess so. Yeah, we got an altered Madden. Anyway. But
it's actually pretty fun.
It was. I had it, but I wanted the real Madden. I wanted the Madden on the 360. But they weren't bringing over their heavy hitters. Still, the Wii DS did a lot to repair some of the lost love between Nintendo and third parties, and things have only gone up since. I guess we ain't gonna talk about the Wii U because the show wasn't there. Anyway, the third party situation on the Switch has been absolutely stellar. And there's an argument to be made that Nintendo has never had it better with third parties than they do right now. I disagree. I think the Super NES was the best. We haven't got back there yet.
They have the best version of Madden. I know that.
Super NES had all the third party. Everything was on Super NES. Shoot, I don't know what people acting like Super NES wasn't here. People stop it. Just because y'all wasn't born back then and didn't experience it. And you got the Switch. Switch ain't touching Super NES when it comes third party at all. Y'all even got Final Fantasy on the. Anyway, let me stop. Final Fantasy was the Switch game, man, on the Super NES. That was it. That's where Final Fantasy got his life from, was on the Super NES. Why am I fussing? Anyway, let me stop. That's obviously
it ain't me. It ain't fussing at me.
That's
telling me to shut up.
A great situation for Nintendo fans, and one market research firm says things are only going to get better. According to DFC Intelligence, the third-party situation on Switch 2 is set to climb to the highest it's ever been. The research firm says that with the Switch 2, Nintendo could become the primary partner for third-party game publishers for the first time. No, that's a return, sir. It's a return. They go on to say that this dynamic evolution will shape the future of games. All righty. So the question is,
I have that article.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I had that article.
Yeah, you
If you want
sent
to
it.
add more, add a little. No. There's another article.
Oh, well, send it into the chat. But
Just click on the DFC intelligence
okay,
within that
DLC
article.
Intelligence. Is it something that man keep now? Don't have me doing something. Then I'm looking boo boo the fool. Oh, okay. It's more here. Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. I was like, keep trying to make me look bad live on the Live and Level Game
No,
podcast.
I was gonna read it if you was
Go ahead and read it, man. You read it. Let my tongue rest. Go ahead.
you don't want to sound like Oliver when he's talking about the Nintendo Switch. I think that the Nintendo Switch.
Man, don't do that guy like that, man. You know Oliver got Thickum's tongue, man. Come on now. What's up, Dark Wing? Fred 215. Who else up in this piece? All right. I already got you,
Let's do
Cherry,
this.
man. Go ahead.
All right, the Nintendo Switch 2 is arguably the most important product launch in the video game history. Not only does DFC expect it to be the fastest selling console system ever, but it has the potential to lift a video game industry that has been grappling with product delays, rising costs, and economic uncertainty. Initial DFC forecast for 2025 anticipated a nice uptick for the video game industry driven by two major releases, the Switch 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6. However, with Grand Theft Auto 6 now delayed until May 2026 and industry tariffs driving up prices, the outlook has shifted. The delay of Grand Theft Auto 6 is particularly impactful, as it was expected to boost hardware sales for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. I hate saying X and S. But anyways, during the critical holiday season. As a result, DFC now projects a decline in console video game software sales in both North America and Europe. North America is expected to see a 2% decline in 2025, with Europe expected to see revenue remain flat from 2024 levels. In sharp contrast, Japan is expected to see a 25% increase in console software revenue in 2025. Nintendo has enjoyed a resurgence in Japan, and the Switch 2 is aggressively priced in the Japanese market. When Japan sales are taken into account, DLC forecasts overall video game console sales will grow 3% in 2025. The Nintendo Switch 2 is now the key driver of the industry growth for 2025. DFC has increased its forecast for Switch 2 unit sales from 15 million to 16 million. If manufacturing can meet demand, the Switch 2 could sell as many as 20 million units. But DFC considers this unlikely, as Nintendo is expected to take a conservative approach to inventory. That's just the first part.
Yeah. You want? That's good enough. I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's good.
So
It's not reading Rainbow, guys. You can.
So the question is, do we agree that the Switch 2 could become the primary partner for third parties? Keith, because I want to say, K-Bud. Keith, you got the floor. I can feel the heat coming from K-Pom over there. Go ahead, Keith. The floor is yours. Do we believe that the Nintendo Switch? Do you believe this is possible?
It's very intriguing. I do want to read this one last part. I kept reading.
Hold up. Let me go back. I clicked back. Let me go back to intelligence. Where you want to go? Under the bracket?
Under the bracket to the very bottom where it starts at meanwhile.
Meanwhile. Okay, go ahead.
Are you ready? All right, it says, meanwhile, the Switch 2, along with the growth of mobile PC gaming devices, I guess they're talking about the Steam Deck and ROG Ally.
ROG Ally, yeah.
Yeah, ROG Ally, my bad. It's redefining the landscape of the video game industry. I just want to say this part, Nintendo can no longer be considered as playing in its own separate space. With the Switch 2, Nintendo is positioning itself as a central player in the broader console and PC gaming ecosystem. DFC forecasts that by the end of 2029, the Switch 2 will have sold over 100 million units, making it the leading console system by a wide margin. The next few years could see Nintendo for the first time becoming a primary partner for third party game
The
publishers.
return. Thank you.
His dynamic This, I guess I meant to say, this dynamic evolution will shape the future of gaming. All right, I just wanted to read that part because that was pretty much the heart of that, the reason why they wrote that other article. I think it would be interesting to see Nintendo become the central player, as they put it, in gaming for like third parties to bring their games over. I think when you factor in Nintendo's own first party, which drives sales units, so on and so forth, looking at Mario Kart 8, even though the price is hiked as it is, but it's still a leading game, and you factor in all the other Nintendo games, historically, third party has never been able to like stand side by side with Nintendo's first party games. But I will agree that with the Switch and now the Switch 2 being able to bring parity over to the system, to these games, I guess they stand to make more money. They stand to bring more eyes on their games because I like the Steam Deck. I think the ROG Ally is great, but it doesn't have that Nintendo branding. So I think Nintendo has a wider net and they can reach a broader audience with their games, especially somewhere like in Japan, with being able to go play these games on the go, and you're playing just using Borderlands 4 as an example. If you haven't seen the Nintendo voice or developers voice chat, the game that they have, the creator's voice, the game looks amazing. And being able to play a game that looks like that on the go, and also bringing your Nintendo games over and being able to play those too in one place, they really are setting themselves up to be the central player. I think Sony and Microsoft, I don't want to bring up diminishing returns and stuff like that, because I think they've done their thing for so long that it's about time that a new player emerges, someone position themselves to be number one. I think Sony is still going to drive those story-driven games. I don't think anybody's going to be able to dethrone them. But I do think Nintendo is definitely setting themselves up when you factor in both first and third-party games playing in harmony together for the first time. That's what I would go with.
Okay, all right. K-Bum, the floor is yours. Is this possible? Do you believe it, sir? Could Nintendo become the primary partner for third-party parties?
Okay.
Switch to.
Okay. Let's clear the air here, man.
Here we go.
Let's just step out and clear the air.
Let's go outside, K-Bum. Let's breathe a little bit.
Let's go outside and breathe some fresh air. Let's go outside. All right.
We've been inside too long, breathing in plastic.
Way too long.
All right, go ahead.
Level.
Yes.
What has been my main complaint, other than graphics, for Nintendo consoles?
Online.
No, it has not been online.
Storytelling?
It has not been online. It has not been storytelling. From where we're talking pre-Switch. We're talking pre-Switch. My main complaint
is parity.
Because Nintendo fans told me third party don't matter.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nintendo fans,
not these third party fans.
Nintendo fans have told me for years.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. They have told me for years third party don't matter. And now all of a sudden, we're going to be the number one third party supporter. I thought it didn't matter.
Wait a minute, K-Bum. This is not Nintendo fans. This is a
No.
Okay,
I'm not saying Nintendo fans are saying it. I'm saying Nintendo fans are like, yes, we told y'all we was in there.
I don't even know if anybody's seen this, or we the only one that's talking about it.
Whatever.
Have you seen anybody else talking about it?
We saw how long that third party intro was in the Nintendo Direct.
Okay, I got you.
The
Go
third
ahead.
party had they time to shine in that Nintendo Direct. When's the last time a Nintendo console has been revealed and they gave third party that much space?
And my
I
sizzle
have
reel.
said for the
Yeah,
longest,
that was Wii U, but it was a sizzle wheel. You're right. Go ahead, cook,
for,
cook, sir.
for the longest,
Tenderize the meat, man.
that third party matters because when that first party game, that banger, that Mario, that Odyssey, that Donkey Kong, that Kirby is not out yet, you still have games to play, and that's where third party comes in. You have new games constantly on your system, but I have been berated with the fact that it does not matter. So K Bomb is happy to see third party X want to come and showcase on the Switch because to me that was one of the main issues that Nintendo was not um, uh, air
Addressing.
quotes catering to third party, but Sony was in deep discussions with third party when they made their next systems. They were talking to them and asking them, and I was told, I don't know who told me, but I was told that that was part of the problem. That Sony's in bed with third party. You know, what if third party leaves? What if they leave? And it's about giving them a place to create their vision, to create games that people can enjoy. So, with this information here, I am happy that Nintendo is enjoying the spoils of having third party support their system. I also hope that Nintendo fans do the thing that I have questioned for the longest. If you have parity, are you going to buy it anyway? Because we've seen the Vaseline, we've seen the duct tape, masking tape, and super glue, gorilla glue of a game called Mortal Kombat, stitched together
Why do we
to
got to keep
may
going
run on
back
the
to
Switch.
switch? But I want you to
We've
answer the
seen
question
that.
though. Before you say that,
I'm getting. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but okay, you going to answer the primary? Do you believe it's going to be
Yes.
the
Yes.
primary
Yes.
partner?
Yes. I'm coming. I'm
Okay,
coming
go
to
ahead.
that.
Go ahead, do it.
The point I'm getting to with that, it will never be the primary system if it's not selling the games. If third party makes sales more on Sony, Sony will still be the primary system. It's not about just being new and shiny. They're coming to support the new and shiny. Awesome. We saw the same thing when 2K came to the Switch, right? And then they came to a point where they said it's not worth us updating the game. Let's give them a roster update, and we'll continue updating Sony and Microsoft because it ain't worth it to keep updating this game. And the parity stops. They had parity for about 2 years, 3 years, and then they gave up and just started releasing roster updates. So my point is, I if Nintendo fans support third party, there is a possibility that Nintendo becomes the new primary partner for third party because of the historic um I guess evidence of the 150, 160, wherever they're at right now with the Switch 2. I mean, sorry, the Switch OG. They have that evidence that they can sell the system, which means you have more people to sell your games to, and then you have the fact that Nintendo consoles have the highest attach rates than any console, higher than Sony, higher than Microsoft. People who buy Nintendo, they buy games. The attach rate is much higher with Nintendo than the other two systems. So if third party is in line with those attach rates, those sales, and they see that percentage starts to change from maybe Nintendo's going from 10 to 15, 20% to now they're 30%, or maybe they're eclipsing Xbox in sales, then yeah, you can definitely see that trend to move up past Sony as far as the primary. And I think some companies are going to take that and make it their new home. Especially I see Japanese companies doing that. I can see Japanese doing that because Japanese games sell very well on Nintendo consoles. So
Okay.
that's my take. That's my take.
Okay, so your position is that it's going to be determined by the actual sales themselves, which I first of all agree 100%. So when we was talking earlier today, I kind of get on it early in the morning when I'm at work. K-Bum had asked a question about the launch titles for the Switch. He asked a question. We won't go into that, but in that discourse and that discussion, I said before Keith ever said anything, I said if what I'm seeing can be maintained, with the parity that I'm seeing with the games running on the Switch too, and if it's going to be like this and they can get it to look like that, what I'm seeing ends up being good and like, man, I don't feel like I'm missing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably buy a majority of my third party on the Switch for the benefit of the on the go. Like when I go up to the Louvre for Christmas for holiday season, I do pack up my PlayStation because I want to play those games, but I don't like packing up my PlayStation. And I pack up my Switch, and the Switch tends to be the center of attraction until you want to play NBA 2K and some of them other games, Madden. Then I got to pull out the old PlayStation 5, and the glory. Oh, this is real gaming. Everybody, but Switch 2 is always, Switch is always the attraction with Mario Kart and all the stuff, and we Switch Sports and all that stuff. If Nintendo, what I'm seeing from like these third parties, and if these games can maintain that parity, that quality that we seeing, if this is real, because we haven't played it yet, it looks legit. If everything I'm seeing is the case, then I'm gonna say yes. I will be buying most of my third party on the Switch too. And I want to go to what Keith was saying when he read in the article, what the article was saying, because Nintendo is in a way, so I'm going to say it's possible. I'm not going to say it will happen, because I believe what K-Bum introduced is what K-Bum said will be the determining factor. It will determine if this prediction happens. If people don't buy the game on the Switch 2, it cannot become the primary partner. It will remain to be Sony. If Nintendo if the fans don't buy, but the thing is though, you best believe 150 wasn't just Nintendo fans. And that statement, they said Nintendo is literally changing the dynamics of the gaming industry with the Switch, and now with portable or mobile mobile PCs, gaming PCs. And then we're going to talk about it here in a second. Even Sony tried to with PS Portable, Xbox teaming up with Asus is that how you say? Yeah, Asus, to get them a handheld. If the box under the TV is becoming more of a what's the word? Jurassic way of playing. I mean, and I don't say that to me literal. I'm trying to think of if it's becoming a past tense way of playing, like people don't want to be glued to the box under the TV. They want that freedom. Then, like they said, Nintendo is going to be at the helm of that and is going to be their for a considerable time before anybody really joined them there, then that may force the hands of people to buy more third party on the Switch too. So it boils down to what you said, K-Bum. It's going to come down to, are you buying these games on the Switch too? If they are, then yes, it's possible. Go ahead.
Yep. No, I one point I was gonna say is that I think Xbox is positioned. I know you said that Nintendo kind of leading the charge with that, but I believe Xbox is positioned to be, if the system under your TV is passe, Xbox is positioned well to still be relevant.
They're gonna be
because
relevant. Yeah,
because this is an Xbox.
that's what I was going to say. But,
yeah.
But the reason why
Sony will be left. Sony will have a hard time catching up.
Right, and I said this and that's what I was saying in the video. The dude got upset. I said Microsoft has already pivoted. They've already pivoted. They have made the change. While we was clowning them and joking them and getting upset with them, Microsoft has made the pivot they need to make. They good either way it goes. They don't need the device. But Sony, on the other hand, is in a conundrum. They gotta because it's gonna be, and that's why the dude who was critiquing my video, I'm like, brother, you missing my point. I'm not saying Nintendo is finna 1-to-1 compete power for power with the PlayStation. I'm saying they are powerful enough. When you hear the creator voices and you hear these developers firsthand out their own mouth, when have you ever seen this many developers talk this glowingly about anything Nintendo?
Except for Nintendo game, the Wii U.
Not really. We saw Ubisoft. We saw EA say, but I'm talking about like with actual game in hand, you can see the game running, not just we gonna be there and then you don't know what they got. Like, you've seen CD Projekt Red, you've seen Square Enix, you've seen the people that's making Borderlands. Like, say we didn't just port this over.
Gearbox. Yeah, Gearbox.
Gearbox said he said it's interesting to be able to build the game on the device itself. And they show, and I'm hoping, that's what I'm saying, I'm hoping that what we saw was actual Switch 2 footage, because if it is, I'm not gonna front, that looked good. That looked real good. And I don't want them to, I hope they're not pulling a bait and switch and they showing us PlayStation or PC, and that's not how it's going to be reflected on the game. I hope they're not pulling that. But they said, it's powerful for what it is. It's very powerful. And they seem to be genuinely excited to see Cyberpunk to see CD Projekt Red take on building the game on the Switch and really putting the bells and whistles in to Cyberpunk for the system tells me that something about the system they really like and believe in. So it's possible, but we got to do our part. So K-Bum is right. Now, my pushback on K-Bum, only thing we were saying is Nintendo doesn't need third party. Not that we don't want third party. I would say what I was saying. Nintendo didn't necessarily need third party to be successful, and I felt like they had proved that. But I don't think anybody said they didn't want third party. I think one person said we just wanted first party more. But to your point, I feel like there has not been parity to warrant those sales that you're talking about. The parity has yet to be there. I think that will change this time around. The parity was there. It wasn't warranted on the Wii U. It wasn't warranted on the Wii. It was barely warranted on the Switch. Doom was great on the Switch though. But I think this time around, that parity is there, where I believe people be like, okay, that's respectable. You respected me. You respected my dollar. You're not giving me ice cream and Neapolitan smudged on my TV. Okay. Like with Witcher 3 and like you said, Mortal Kombat. These games are quality. And I think that's what's going to be the game changer. So I'm going to reserve saying yes, because what K-Bum said, and I'm going to bring Keith back in here. we gotta buy the games, y'all. You gotta buy the game, and so the pocket and the dollar is going to prove whether that's possible. If not, then Sony will stay in this position. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, yeah. I think K-Bon's point about buying the games is key. I mean, that's for anything, you know. And to that point, Hogwarts Legacy right now on the Switch is on sale for $17.99, and you know they're doing the $10 upgrade. So that's a $28 game that you could buy right now for your to be ready for your Switch 2 right now. And that's just an easy game you can jump in and support. You don't have to unless you want the game key card or whatever. But yeah, we definitely got to go out and support and show these developers this is where we're buying our games. And I think to your point level, I do think Microsoft has pivoted and made an excellent decision. Yeah, we did clown them, and it was funny. And I'm still gonna clown them, and if I get some funny Xbox news, but I do have to give them I do have to give them their props for making the decisions that they have made, especially with the price of games. I've seen many gamers say, "Oh, I'm finna re-up my Game Pass, or I'm finna get Game Pass because these games are too expensive." And if you're giving us games day and date out the gate, and all I got to do is subscribe to your ecosystem or to your Game Pass, that's a huge plus, especially when it comes to parents of children who want a game, and you're not trying to buy all the latest games. And the store, they do actually sell games, and they put games on sale frequently, especially on the PC, anyways, for Game Pass. So, yeah, I think Sony is going to have to make some decisions because they are definitely carrying on with the traditions of yesterday, and they're definitely going to have to make some decisions moving forward. Um, or they could just stay the course and say, "Hey, this is what gamers want."
Yeah, like I said, I think we're the only ones that I've heard actually talk about this. I'm pretty sure we start seeing others as people catch wind of this article or this write up. But yeah, Keith, we're in a unique place. All the things he said with the tariffs, with the we just saw Microsoft. We talked about it last week. Microsoft raised the price, but we just seen that Trump and China came to some temporary agreement. So shouldn't they be bringing those prices back down? See, and that's the problem.
The agreement actually the temporary agreement is actually worse than the original agreement.
It is.
Just want to make sure. Yeah, it's
I guess
if
I
you
didn't
actually
know
look at
that.
it, it's actually still higher than before the tariff war. It's
So it
higher.
is, yeah, because it's 30% on them and it's ten
Yeah.
percent on us.
Yep.
Okay, I see what
Yep.
you're
It's
saying,
higher. Yeah.
but it ain't that
But,
100. So they
but it's
should be
not the
able to,
100. But it's not.
yeah.
It's not the 100.
But it's worse
but
than
but
what it originally.
it's still higher than originally. So
Right.
whatever they were selling before, they still air quote at a loss because it's still higher.
And they need to bring it down instead of 800 for the Xbox Series X. Maybe it could be 600. But anyway, uh, so speaking of that, Keith. Speaking of that, so K Bomb shared this, and we'll end on this because I think this article from Go Nintendo and some of the stuff that was brought up by who was this DFC group research group firm talking about that whole fact that Nintendo is ushering in a whole new era and way to play with these hybrid. And now we got the Steam Deck. We have, even though they ain't selling a lot yet, eventually they will start selling. It's going to start selling. But when the big boys outside of Nintendo jump back in, that's going to, I think, like we were saying, I think we all were saying, the hybrid is going to become the standard. I think we even said that. We said that a while ago with the Switch. I know I was saying I think the hybrid will become the way people want to play. It's too free and up. It's easy to take and go. Throw it in your bag. Keep on moving. And I think Sony and Microsoft will have to respond in some way. I think Microsoft has. And I think Sony, the rumors are starting to spin that they're trying to respond as well. So let's look at this. So a few weeks ago, we talked about a rumor that Sony is working on a new handheld that will launch alongside its PlayStation 6. Me and K Bum and Keith talked about that rumor. What was it, about 2 weeks ago? I think it was about 2 weeks
Something
ago.
like that.
Well, there's even more smoke around this whole subject. So it says rumors that Sony is developing a new PlayStation handheld has kicked up a notch again. With a respected Xbox, so this ain't even from Sony them, it's from an Xbox insider known as FX4.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg, FX4, and NeoGAF has claimed that not only is the device in the pipeline, but it's also being lined up to launch alongside as yet an unannounced PlayStation 6. Obviously, we should take all this with a pinch of salt, but according to the leaker, a full-blown PlayStation handheld is coming while adding time-wise somewhere around PlayStation 6 launch. As mentioned, this isn't the first time we've heard about a new PlayStation handheld. Only last month, another leak stated that a new portable device is in the pipeline as part of Sony's next generation console plans. Not only that, but the new handheld will reportedly feature shader binary compatibility, with which allows PlayStation 5 games to be played without developers having to apply any changes. So this is the rumor mill. So the question is Sony doing the right thing or the wrong thing to make a PlayStation 6 and a handheld? First I gotta ask, do we believe this? Do we believe this?
I think they would be fools to not have something in development.
No, yeah,
Even if they never put it out, I think they would be fools to not be looking to do something different or to be able to offer something different. So I think there's some smoke here.
Okay. K-Bomb, do you? We know that something is coming. We know that they got something else, but do we believe is a combination of both a PlayStation 6 and a handheld?
So what I was also reading, I guess I was trying to explain that they are also saying that a hybrid system is coming.
Where did
So
you see
so
that
not
at?
that so the article that I sent didn't stated the hybrid system. The second article did not. I didn't know until after I sent it. But
Okay.
the first article was talking about from Gamer Post a hybrid system, right? That it wouldn't just be handheld, but it would be a hybrid type console like the Switch. And that's what the second report was saying. That's why I sent it, because it was different than the first, but it didn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't open up for me.
Yeah, it didn't open up right. It said it is indeed working on a full blown PlayStation handheld. So it wouldn't. It's not just in handheld. It's a hybrid type system where it does both. That's what the new report is saying, that it's not just handheld. It's possibly a hybrid system.
Okay. So then what's the point? Okay, if that's the case, that created a whole nother. So what's the point of having a PlayStation 6 if you're
What's
gonna
the
make
point?
a handheld that's a hybrid? Like, there's no point. Yeah. That's even more confusing.
I don't know. Sony is a Me Too type company. The Sony, no, sorry, it's not Me Too. Sony is, we do that too.
Well,
That's what Sony is.
That's exactly what this sounds like.
I am a Sony fan. I have been playing Sony systems since PlayStation 1. And I have seen Sony look at the industry, look at what somebody else is doing, and say, "Oh, we can do that too." There's almost nothing that the other company has come out with that Sony has not had a version of. I mean, you can't really I don't know. I can't really explain if there isn't one. And so Sony sees this handheld. They've already made a decision with the Portal. Now they're making decisions with the handheld, and now they're going back and forth with a hybrid system.
What happened to
And
VR?
VR is still there. It's still supported.
Dang, I
The
didn't
VR
know
the
anything.
VR2 system is still there, but when I talked about it when they first launched, it's a niche type of thing. I still haven't bought a VR system because it's too niche for me. I don't care to play games that way on a regular. Maybe it's not priced for what you're going to use it for, right? If it's a niche type of thing you're going to use occasionally, well, then I'm not trying to pay $400 for it. If it was 200, like the PlayStation Portal, well, I can use that occasionally and not be mad I spent $200, right? But a VR system is priced $300 to $400. That's almost the price of an entire system, and that's not priced enough to be niche. That's priced to be utilized more heavily. But anyway, so Sony is a we got that too company, and I can completely see them looking at both a portable system and a hybrid and a PS6 just because they want to say, well, you don't have to go over there. We can do that too. But I think that's going to be I think they have to pick a lane, in my opinion. I think that Sony has to pick a lane, find out what you really want to do, find out what you really want to provide your consumers, and ride that wave, and not get stuck in what they did with the PlayStation Pro. I think the PlayStation Pro. I know why it's here, but I think it may be hurting the company. Because I think for what their price and what they're getting out of it is not enough. I know the PS5 Pro is there to test out PSSR, but I feel if they probably could have waited and got FSR 3 for free. So I think Sony needs to pick a lane and ride it because I think they're diversifying themselves too much. I mean, we just seen their decision making. I'm gonna say this one point. And I'm handing
They
it off.
react too
We
much.
they react to the industry and created 15 what type of game is those
Shooters, hero shooters.
no, not the hero shooters. It wasn't the hero shooters. It was the live service games.
Live
They told everybody under the PlayStation umbrella to create a live service game. And now you have an entire year where you put out one first party console, and we're up to May, almost June, and we still don't have another first party title dropped. So Sony needs to stop this riding the wave of the industry. Pick a lane, do what you do best, and do that because they to me they're hurting this company. And if Xbox would have had their stuff together, if Switch would have been more powerful and took away more third party, then things would be a lot different and Sony would be reacting different. But since they've had a weak opponent in Xbox and third party hasn't flipped over yet to Nintendo, it seems to be changing now with the Switch 2. Sony felt that they're in good position, but hopefully the Switch 2 can make them make right decisions. But this whole hybrid thing plus portable plus PS6 is, I don't know, it's not going over well. That's my point. I'll end with that.
All right. Keith, do you want to take a? Is it my turn? Oh, I ain't sharing my thoughts yet. I guess
It's
it
your
is my
turn.
So yeah, I'm okay. So Sony problem is first. Okay, so let me say first of all, I find this. I'm gonna say I don't want to believe it, but I it's Sony. So they may try to do the very thing that caused them to stumble during the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita. If you ain't learned anything from Nintendo, if you haven't learned, let me talk a little bit more proper. If you haven't learned anything, if you have learned anything from Nintendo, the one thing you should learn is when they decided to go away from two devices, they have blew up. Like if there's any takeaways from the hybrid device is Nintendo went away from two devices. They were able to streamline. They was able to focus on one device, all their titles, and that's all it took. Nintendo had title after title after title for the Switch. They had so much, and bringing all those Wii U games that didn't get no love because of the two device and the fact that they couldn't focus on both, and then trying to market both and having more of a primary or handheld was your real market and not your home console because PlayStation and Xbox had took over that market. Nintendo did what they did best and let you play it on your TV, and that's handheld. So, like K-Bum said, Nintendo picked a lane, and they used that lane to play in both fields. And like I was saying in that video, because of the diminishing returns or the inability to push the game industry forward graphically without substantially increasing prices, look how much you paying for the PlayStation 5 Pro and those you couldn't tell the difference without Digital Foundry and Mark Cerny telling you, look at this, slow it down, blow this up. See how clear that is? Like literally you had, now it's not that bad, but you get my drift. Like it's getting harder and harder to sell the device just off visuals alone. So to me, it makes no sense when you see a Switch 2 that technically could have released 2 years ago. That cost, what we just found out, it costs right at $340, $350 to make. Nintendo is selling it for $100 more. Then you add in packaging. Nintendo is probably making about $50 on this system, each system sold. Sony can't believe they're going to come into the market and make something even more powerful than that and sell it at an affordable price alongside another device that's going to be heck of expensive too. Like D2K said, he said, I think the PlayStation 6 is going to be a premium machine with no technical compromises for the hardest of hardcore. And I believe him on that. The PlayStation 6 is going to be a hardcore device. Why do I believe that? Because the PlayStation 5 Pro is. So, even if you do a casual handheld device or what K-Bum's saying, possibly a hybrid device, it too is going to be expensive. Because you got to compete with the same thing Nintendo is competing. Why do y'all think the Nintendo Switch did what Nintendo did what they did with the Switch 2? Because, and I didn't want to see it before, but I kind of see it now. Because you have Steam Decks, Lenovo's, Rogue Allies. I didn't want to see it because of the sales.
But they ain't competition.
And they not right now. They not competition. But
they still competition. They're just not in the same ballpark.
Right. They competition in this sense, and this is why I had to pivot.
Okay.
Sale for sale, no, they're not competition.
No, absolutely not.
But when you're in that field and you're constantly being compared to it, and games being shown running on it as opposed to your device, that is, but you're gonna have to meet that standard. You're gonna have to at least play in that field in some respectable way. So Nintendo can't play games. So in that sense, I pivot on that, K-Bum. You have there's some smoke in that in with that fire.
What in the world did Level just say? I might have been right. I was going to say I might have been right. He just said I might have been right.
You have a point.
After all that argument, we went off.
I know, because I was only looking at it from a sales perspective, not from you in this space. You're constantly going to be constantly compared to these devices, and when you look at the Switch, it was not comparable at all. It was embarrassing to put the Switch up against them devices. So it made sense. Nintendo wants to keep its dominance and get third-party support. So in that, you had a point. That's all I'm giving you credit. So
I appreciate that, sir.
What
Thank
is Sony going to do? Like, to me, this makes no sense. So you're going to have a system. If you're going to compete with the Nintendo, you got to make something more powerful.
you. Yep.
So,
Yep. You're Sony, so you got to be more powerful.
right. To me, it's going to cost more. Even if it come out a few years later, it's either going to be it's either going to come out at $500 or it's going to cost more than $500. And then so you paying $500 for
You ain't getting both. You ain't getting both.
Right. You paying $500 or more, probably $500. I say you're going to pay $500 for whatever this handheld is or the hybrid system is. That's $500. Then you got the PlayStation 6. $900. That's $1,500 to play to have an on-the-go experience. So, like I said, man, no, this makes no sense. From a business standpoint. It makes no sense. Sony, pick a lane. Nintendo, you might as well just jump into the hybrid system market, because at that point, if you paying that much for a PlayStation 6, you might as well go ahead and get you a PC. But I get it. If you don't want to do all that tanking and tinking and changing and altering, then get you a PlayStation. I ain't mad at you, but that to me, that's not smart business. You already screwed up with the PSP, PS Vita, and trying to do that. You seen what it done. Even Yoshida said it wasn't sustainable. Why would you try to do that even in a more expensive market?
Again, yeah.
That don't make any kind of sense. So I'ma say this rumor is people who may want to dampen some of the shine of the Switch. Now, this could be true. I just don't think Sony be that stupid. I don't think Sony be. I
think Sony can be that stupid.
I was just going to say that, Kyle. I said they can be. They can be. I just don't think they will. I don't think, especially I don't think they're going to make a hybrid system and a PlayStation 6. That is the most idiotic move to me. But it is Sony. So
it is Sony.
Keith, final thoughts.
Sony, switch it up.
Switch it up at that point. Pun intended.
That was a pun intended. Yeah, I think in this market that would be, like Level said, that would be foolish. And then you asking a lot of your consumers. To buy all of these games, unless they all, like, you buy one game and they work on all devices.
But how you gonna do that?
I don't know.
Well, you
and then
you can't do that. It won't be physical.
Yeah, it'd have to be digital.
Like it may have like a digital download to the physical. Yeah.
And then you got to consider whose tech are you going to use? AMD, Intel.
It's AMD. They can't go away from AMD if they want it backwards compatible.
Oof.
And you know what I'm saying? The PS6 has already been in motion, so it's going to be AMD.
Mm.
And you're not going to have a handheld NVIDIA in the console AMD. That's not going to work. So it's going to be AMD.
Well, they can take advantage of the Intel drivers, the AI that Intel does.
Mm-hmm.
It's X something, but yeah, I don't know about AMD competing on, especially in a hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
every other hybrid is AMD though. The Rogue Ally, the Steam Deck, everybody else is AMD.
If I was Sony,
but they're relying on.
If I was Sony, that's what I'm gonna say. You got to pick a lane, like K-Bum said. This is what I would do if I was Sony. Let Nintendo have the hybrid lane.
Mm-hmm.
Let them have it. You the powerhouse under the TV. It's that's not leaving, even though it may become it might not be the preferred way to play by casuals. It's still a way to play, but because I don't think you, if they jump in the hybrid market, it's going to be like people buying a PlayStation 5 twice.
Yep.
Because they're not going to really be able to do much, more than the PlayStation 5. At that time, it's just not, to me, and make it affordable to casuals. So, you might as well just stay with the box, and you got the box under the TV. Nintendo got the hybrid, and Microsoft everything is an Xbox. Everybody got their lane. Microsoft is putting their games everywhere. Maybe that's the best way to go. I don't know if you need to. I don't know. I don't know if you need to directly compete with Nintendo.
Why you need a PlayStation 6 if your handheld is playing PlayStation 5?
I don't know. Because if it can play PlayStation 5, it can play PlayStation 6.
Why do we? It's not the handheld ain't playing on PlayStation 6 games.
It might be. They might have to lower it
Heck
down.
no, you're gonna lower it down to what? PlayStation 5 settings.
Right, like the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5.
So why do we even need a PlayStation 6?
To be fair, PlayStation 5 ain't playing PlayStation 5 games. Whoa!
Stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Stop it. Hey, this is not bad Sony podcast.
You know
we bad
what?
Xbox.
You know the real first PlayStation 5 for real first title would probably be the Ghost of Yote or Grand Theft Auto 6. No, man. Spider-Man 2 didn't look. It looked great. Don't get me wrong, but it don't look.
No, I'm saying it wasn't. It wasn't on the PS4.
I'm saying, like, do you feel like it really took advantage of the PlayStation 5? I'll let K-Bum answer that.
Ratchet and Clank did.
Ratchet Clank looked amazing.
You can't tell me otherwise. Ratchet and Clank took full effect of the PlayStation 5.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. But do you think
if I was Sony, I just want to say this: if I was Sony, I would make an app, put it on the PC, and if you subscribe to my ecosystem, this might sound like Xbox, then you can play the hybrid, or you can come to your PC and play your games. Oh, that does sound like Xbox.
Sony better not make make a hybrid system and a PlayStation 6. They getting all the slap yourself. I ain't gonna say they can't pull it off, but that's just balling backwards.
It's too much.
It's too much, and then development is gonna be crazy.
That development already crazy,
right? So man? To me, Nintendo has that. And K-Bum, I'm gonna say this and it don't. I'm not backtracking on what I said in the previous.
Okay.
Nintendo makes enough of. They got a AAA. They got B list. They got just barely above shovelware. Right. They have every bracket filled first party. They got the Princess Peach. What was that game? Princess Peach. What? Showtime, which will be that's a low tier game, right? Then they would have something that be like and I think Luigi's Mansion is actually A tier now, but you have something like what would you name it? That's a B list game from Nintendo, Keith, first party.
B list game, first party title.
Captain Toad, right? Something like that. Captain Toad in that lane.
Yeah, I guess so.
Then you got your A-listers. So Nintendo's hitting you on every level. Sony doesn't have that, not in droves. Sony is A-list. Everything is A-list. Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War, Ghost of Yote, Ghost of Tsushima. Like, where is they B and C and barely passable titles? They let third party do that.
They used to have that. They used to have their first party indie titles on the PlayStation 4.
Rezo guns.
They used to, the Rezo guns and stuff like that. So they used to have a lot. Yeah, they used to have that, but like you said, they kind of sold the boat.
And that's what you need. AAA. You need those type of titles to fill in the gap. They don't have it. They need, and that's why I was saying Nintendo didn't need third party, but they don't need third party because they got everything to fill in the gap. That's why going away from the two systems, they was able to fill in the gap on the Switch in a way they couldn't do with the Wii U and 3DS. They was able to use those 3DS type of games, fill in the gaps to the major games that they were playing. Kawan said tonight's show definitely should have been called "Stay in Your Lane." All right, bro,
I like D2K comment. D2K says Sony might be desperate,
but not stupid. But that's my thing. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. We pretty much went pretty good tonight. I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say no. I don't think Sony is that stupid. I'm going to say it's either going to be a PlayStation 6 or it's going to be a hybrid. Maybe the PlayStation 6 is a hybrid and people are confusing it. It might be a hybrid system and it's going to be called the PlayStation 6. But I know they're going to...
I don't want that.
I know, because you know you're going to be rebuying a PlayStation 5.
I don't want that. No, please don't give me that. Please don't do that to me. Give me power under my system. Do not do that.
PlayStation 5 is powerful. What you talking about?
I'm talking about with the PlayStation 6. Give me the next level of power. Don't give me no hybrid system. I don't want that. Not from Sony.
It's going to be called the PlayStation 6 Go. That's what it's going to be called.
Well, they can go somewhere because that's not what I want.
Go. Take it wherever you want to go.
I don't want to go nowhere. I want to sit
the TV,
by my
go.
TV.
In your car,
I have a
go.
77-inch OLED TV. I want it to bleed.
The PlayStation 6 Go. It goes where you go. Oh, I'm already giving them the pitch. It goes where you go. You got to go
back to the store.
You got to go and do a trip to sale, whatever. Take it on the go. It's on the go. Go. The PlayStation 6 Go. Hey. Switch it up, PlayStation Go.
Please end this podcast.
All right. We shall end on that. They abandoned those games in pursuit of high graphic movie games that people get bored of at the playing through. There's some
I don't play games anyway.
I don't go back and play a lot of these games. That's true. But when you playing through it for the first time, it's amazing. Man, but I'm going to tell you the truth, though. Real quick, let me stop the music. I did play through Uncharted 2 several times.
I mean, that's a different beast.
I love that game. Let's go. Anyway. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Hope that y'all enjoyed this podcast on tonight. Y'all kept us lit in the comment section. Stop with the misinformation, IGN. Stop with the disinformation. Digital Foundry, Oliver, Rich Lud, Bud Alex. Could y'all cut it out? What's the dude you said that be making all the clickbait videos? Duckworth, what is his name?
No, you talking about Dreamcast guy.
Yeah, Dreamcast. Shut it up. Dreamcast, you went out of business 7 years ago, sir. Anyway, I'm gonna let these dudes sign out. Started with Mr. Levelhead. I mean, not level, but K-Bomb Queen. Slap myself. K-Bomb, it's your fault.
No problem, man. Appreciate the podcast, man. You know, it's I haven't really been vocal about it, but it's been a rough couple of weeks. My wife, grandpa died about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was in a funeral yesterday because my cousin passed away. Then I got some other bad news today. So it's been a bad, rough couple of weeks, but it was good to hop on the podcast and kind of forget a lot of that stuff and just kick it with the homies. So I appreciate it.
And our condolences, bro. Man, you didn't say nothing about that, man.
I know, man. I know.
We be praying for you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Mr. Norris.
Yeah, absolutely. Condolences and prayers for your family. Healing hands and strength. Great. Great show tonight. Got a chance to talk about a lot of interesting things. Nintendo leading the way. Sony, whatever you do, commit to it. Don't go halfway. Just whatever you do, just commit to it. Stay in your lane.
Don't do that. Take that. Don't change your name, Diddy to Puff Daddy to Shining Light, whatever else you is.
We're gonna rebrand the PlayStation to put never mind.
The baby oil.
Baby oil. But yeah, man, great show, man. I'm glad everybody came through, kept us lit in the chat. 2.5 weeks, folks. 2.5 weeks. We'll be having a whole different conversation. So.
Man, my birthday will be on the 1st, and my anniversary will be on the day that I get the Switch. Oh boy, I'm at the choose between my wife and the Switch 2. Who's gonna win? Who will win on that day?
Lord have mercy.
You already know who won. Cyberpunk. I'll just play it. I'm joking. She upstairs. She don't hear. But
You gonna be punked.
Yeah, I'm finna go up there right now to snuggle. Anyway, I want to send a shout out to everybody that joined us on tonight. You know who you is, because I call you out every time you jump in. All those that didn't say anything, that stay in the background, love to you as well. Yeah, man. 2 more weeks, 2.5 more weeks, and it shall be in our hands. I'm excited. Sony, figure it out. Don't do 2, make 1. Get K-Bun that hybrid PlayStation 6. Go. He wants it. Don't believe him when he say he don't. He wants it. All the trips they be taking, he needs it. Anyway, this was the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Till next time, y'all stay safe, blessed, and we see you on the flip side. Deuces. Peace.
We got Smash Bros though.